You know I didn't mean to hurt you. It's the urges. I can't help it, Derek. It was an open coffin. You know I'm weak when it comes to those. She looked so peaceful and pure. I couldn't get her out of my head. Please don't look at me like that. You shouldn't be angry. Look, I think you're overreacting. I was in there for like a minute, 2 at most. You could still go there. I didn't hear a crack or snap or anything like that. If anything, I've loosened her up. And you didn't have to do all that digging. You've actually got a pretty good deal here, you know. Being loaded out the van now. You can trust ours. The chickens have land to run around on. 2 minutes left. Can I have 50 grams of brown leaf? It's you. Hey, this is all you're buying, Jergus? You can buy anything you want. Hey, put it down over there.
Could you explain how you do this then?
It is actually pretty simple. I first use a machine called the Tanatron. I inject a saline solution by IV into the patient's bloodstream. Then the patient has to push a switch to inject a dose of sodium thiopental. Then after 2 minutes, a dose of potassium chloride and pancuronium bromide are injected automatically. After 60 seconds, I inject a counter agent and some adrenaline to wake the patient up. If I wait to 120 seconds, it's too late. Dead. Simple, right.
Right.
New husband? No. No, I want to terminate it. How do you expect me to live in the same world as her? Anyway, what's this about you and Casey?
What do you mean?
What's going on?
We have the occasional drink.
I thought you didn't admire his work.
I changed. Or his work changed. Are you jealous?
Of what? I couldn't be jealous of Casey. I'm his agent. I advised him about his divorce. I read all his first drafts. I persuaded your husband to publish his first novel. I escorted him to Oxford to speak at the Union. He's my boy. I discovered him when he was a poet, and that's a bloody long time ago now. He's even taken me down to Southampton to meet his mom and dad. I can be jealous of Casey. Anyway, it's not as if we're having an affair now. Is it? We haven't seen each other for years. Really. I'm very happy that you're happy. What about Robert?
Well, I think we're going to separate.
Oh?
We had a long talk last night.
Last night?
You know what I found out? Last night. He's betrayed me for years. He's had other women for years.
No. Good Lord. But we betrayed him for years.
And he betrayed me for years.
Well, I never knew that.
Nor did I.
Does Casey know about this?
I wish you wouldn't keep calling him Casey. His name is Roger.
Yes, Roger.
I phoned you. I don't know why.
What a funny thing. We were such close friends, weren't we? Robert and me. Even though I haven't seen him for a few months. But though through all those years, all the drinks, all the lunches we had together, I never even gleaned, I never suspected that there was anyone else in his life but you. Never. For example, when you're with a fellow in a pub or a restaurant, for example, from time to time he pops out for a piss. You see, who doesn't? But what I mean is, if he's making a crafty call, you can sort of sense. Nay, good my lord, put him to it. Let him have his way. If your lordship finds him not to hiding, hold me no more in your respect. On my life, my lord, above all. Believe it, my lord, in mine own direct knowledge, without any malice, but to speak of him as a kinsman. He's a most notable coward, an infinite and endless liar, an hourly promise breaker, the owner of no good quality, worthy your lordship's entertainment. It were fit you knew him, lest reposing too far in his virtue which he had not, he might at some great and trusty business with main danger fail you. None better than to let him fetch off his drum, which you hear him so confidently undertake to do. I, with a group of Florentines, will suddenly surprise him. I will have him whom he knows not the enemy. We will bind and hoodwink him, that he shall suppose no other but that he is carried into the league of his adversaries, when we bring him to our own tents. Be but your lordship present at his examination, if he do not, for the promise of his life and in the highest compulsion of base fear offered to betray you, and that with the divine forfeit of his soul, upon oath, never trust my judgment in anything. Oh, for the love of laughter, let him fetch his drum. He says he has a stratagem for it. When your lordship sees the bottom of his success in it, and to what metal this counterfeit lump of ore will be melted. If you give him not John Drum's entertainment, your inclining cannot be removed. Here he comes. Hinder not the honour of his design. Let him fetch off his drum in any hand.
Sir, I love you more than words can wield the matter. Beloved sister, my father did strike my gentleman to chide him with his fool. Day and night he wrongs me, curses me. Into her womb convey sterility, dry up her organs of increase. Every hour he flashes into some gross crime or other, setting us all at odds. His knights, men, so disordered, so debauched and bold, that this our court shows like a riotous inn. Epicurism and lust make it more like a tavern or a brothel than a graced palace. The shame itself doth speak for instant remedy. What needs he 100 knights? Why not 50, 25, 10, or 5 to follow in a house where twice so many have a command to serve him? Pray you, sister, let us hit together. We must do something, and if heat.
Very good, Nixon.
And here he comes. Quite a guy, a gentleman, always on time.
It's always a pleasure meeting you, Clarence. This is my second visit in this little theatre in London. The first was during my resignation, which was rather a shattering experience. I dare say a shock. After the Watergate affair, which put me on the spot in Wee Macbeth. Do you remember?
How can I ever forget it? Such a shattering experience, as you rightly put. All our guests here today are familiar faces to you, so there's no need to introduce them and just go straight to the point. We ask you to come to be a witness in this trial for your vast knowledge and experience of the role of the CIA in Cyprus from 1959 to 74. You became a president in 1969, 2 years after the Greek junta coup in Greece, which took control of the 20,000 Greek troops sent by the Prime Minister, George Papandreou, in 64, to defend the island against a Turkish invasion. Now, Mr. Nixon, I'm sure that you must have been aware of the danger that the Greek junta imposed on President Makarios, with whom I believe that you had a good relationship.
Yeah, very much so, I dare say. As long as I was President of the United States, neither the CIA nor the Greek junta could put into action their plan for his assassination.
Quiet in the court. Do carry on, Mr. Nixon.
Although there were some incidents beyond my control that fortunately came to no fruition, I strongly disagreed with CIA about the nicknames Red Monk and Castro Mediterranean, and I had endless rows with Henry Kissinger, who insisted that President Macarius was a threat to the American interests in the region, and he should therefore be toppled off.
When did he say that?
Kim, look who's here.
Who is here?
Our good old friend Kissinger.
Oh, Henry?
Yeah, he's grown old since we last saw him.
I wonder what he's doing here in the Elysian field.
He's not passed away, has he?
Not as far as I know, not yet anyway.
I guess he came to clear his name, I suppose.
I wonder what the cunning old fox would say.
I hope he doesn't put the blame on us. Look, he's shaking hands with Jim Callahan. What's he doing here?
For the same reason we're here, I guess.
You and Bertrand.
You know, that bitch is bringing everybody here. She needs all the evidence she can get. It's becoming a joke.
I'm beginning to enjoy it.
So do I.
Quiet in the court. Do carry on, Mr. Nixon.
Yeah, where was I? Oh yes, there was a climate of paranoia in CIA and the White House. Ever since the McCarthy era and the Cuban crisis, everything seemed to turn to red. The Russians are coming everywhere, Mediterranean and Atlantic, in the Indian Ocean, spreading like cancer, a plague all over the planet Earth. It was like a hysterical farce. The more I tried to stop it, the worse it became. It was like throwing oil in the fire. It was fucking crazy. As soon as I started talking to China, I was branded red from top to bottom, which soon brought about my downfall. And by 1969, I was out of the White House. What chance did the president of the tiny Republic of Cyprus have to survive their outrage? As soon as I was out of the office, the CIA and Henry Kissinger gave the green light to Greek junta in Cyprus to drive their tanks against the presidential palace to kill the president. And because he survived the onslaught, they gave the same green light to Turkey to invade and occupy 1/3 of this lovely ancient Greek island. I'm sorry I was not there to prevent the onslaught that followed.
Thanks, Mr. Nixon. Members of the jury, I will now call my next witnesses. Mr. James Callahan.
Richard Nixon.
And here he comes. Quite a guy. A gentleman, always on time. Welcome, Mr. Nixon. How nice of you to come.
It's always a pleasure meeting you, Clarence. This is my second visit in this little theatre in London. The first was after my resignation, which was rather a shattering experience. I dare say a shock, which put me on the spot, and we met back. Do you remember?
How can I ever forget? Shattering, as you rightly put. All our guests here today are familiar faces to you, so there's no need to introduce anyone and just go straight to the point. Now, we asked you to come here today for your vast knowledge and experience of the role of the CIA in Cyprus from 1959 to 74. You became president in 1969, 2 years after the Greek junta coup. Now, Mr. Nixon, I'm sure that you must have been aware of the danger that the Greek junta imposed on President Macarius, with whom I believe that you had a very good relationship.
Very much so. I dare say as long as I was the President of the United States, neither the CIA nor the Greek junta could put into action their plan for his assassination.
Quiet in the court.
Although there were some incidents beyond my control that fortunately came to no fruition, I strongly disagree with CIA about nicknames Red Monk and Castro Mediterranean, and an endless rows for Henry Kissinger, who insisted that President Macarius was a threat to the American interests in the region, and he should therefore be toppled off.
When did I say that?
Hey, Jim, look who's here. Who? Our good old friend Kissinger.
Oh, Henry.
Yeah, he's grown old since we last saw him.
Wonder what he's doing here in the Elysian
He
Fields.
hasn't passed away, has he?
As far as I know, not yet anyway.
I guess he's here to clear his name, I suppose.
Wonder what the old fox is going to say.
I hope he doesn't put the blame on us. I hope not. I look, he's shaking hands with Jim Callahan. Oh, what's he doing here?
Well, same reason we're here, I guess.
To do a better trial.
That asshole, that bitch is bringing everybody here. She's trying to get all the evidence she can get. It's becoming a joke.
I'm beginning to enjoy it.
I suppose, Al, so am I.
Quiet in the court. Carry on, Mr. Nixon.
Where was I? Yeah. There was a climate of paranoia in the CIA and the White House ever since the McCarthy era and the Cuban crisis. Everything seems to turn to red. Russians are coming everywhere. In the Mediterranean, in the Atlantic, in the Indian Ocean. Spreading like cancer, a plague, all over the planet Earth. It was like hysterical farce. The more I tried to stop it, the worse it became. It was like throwing oil on the fire. It was fucking crazy. And as soon as I started talking to China, I was branded red from top to bottom. It soon brought about my downfall. By 1969, I was out of the White House. What chance did the president of the tiny Republic of Cyprus have to stop their outrage? When I was out of office, Henry Kissinger and the CIA gave a green light to breach into Cyprus, to drive their attacks against the presidential palace, to kill the president. And because he survived the onslaught, he gave the same green light to...
How does it feel to win over £300 million? It must feel like a dream come true. I can say it will definitely change your life. However, whether it's for the better or worse, we won't know until further into your future. People around you will change and treat you differently because you have something they wish they had. You will try and solve problems with the money you have, but problems will never end. It will seem as if they are multiplying. Real friends will be hard to find. With this being said, do you think your friendship will last at all? Really, Chris? I just got in. Literally just hit pillow. Agents have the worst timing. Doing alright. I don't know about that. This is home. What do you mean? What? Wow, that's amazing. When does he want me to come in? Oh? Wait, can I think about it? Just give me till tomorrow. Eat your food, son. If you don't, you'll never be big and strong like your daddy. I get it. I understand now. Ha ha ha. Of course I do. It's a girl, right? You want her. She doesn't want you. Don't worry. I'm happy to help you. Isn't that right, honey?
911. What's your emergency? Are you sure it's a bomb? May I have more details on the boy, please? Does this boy happen to be a Muslim, ma'am? Will do, ma'am. Please don't let the boy move for the time being. We'll track your location and send our officers right away. Your son is in his cell. We'll get him after I ask you a few questions. Sir, I just want to ask, why was your son's so-called clock attached to a briefcase and ticks as if it's about to blow up? It's a safety precaution, ma'am. We've seen terrorists hanging a briefcase only to blow themselves up. It's not just that, sir. There's also the ticking sound, and apparently the teacher heard his clock saying, "Allahu Akbar." Can you explain that, ma'am? Officer Donald Trump. Every mass killing in the news is related to them. This is why we need to get rid of Muslims in America. Alright, he's here. Ladies and gentlemen, this boy right here is an example of why Muslims are ruining America. Come on, come up. You hear that, folks? An innocent teacher thought he had a bomb, all because of Muslims bombing everywhere. You're lucky not to be a Muslim. You're a what? Billy? You brought in a Muslim? Get this kid out of here. Security? Give me the clock, let me see it. Well, what do we have here? And it's beeping too. Let's see what this button does. It didn't explode. What are you laughing? Me? My hair. Where's my hair? I have abandoned my son, my weakness and pride, the light of my darkness, the strength of my side. A backslider, a coward, liar I may be, but to spell my own child for all he couldn't see. It was I who was blind, a curse I must free. As I let the devil have his way with me, I can change, but how? I beg for blood, for I am merely a man, but be a man of God who only lost his way. Does the man who serves have a price to pay? For now I see the self-righteous path is the only place to be. Wouldn't the Lord have mercy, as the devil had his way with me? The Railway Children by Seamus Heaney. When we climbed the slopes of the cutting, we were eye level with the white cuffs, the telegraph poles, and the sizzling wires. Like lovely freehand, they curved for miles, east and miles west beyond us, sagging under the burden of swallows. We were small and thought we knew nothing worth knowing. We thought words traveled the wires in the shiny pouches of raindrops, each one seated full with the light of the sky, the gleam of the lines and ourselves, so infinitely scaled. We could stream through the eye of a needle